It's not oppressive. It's not anything to run from. It's not something to burn your bra about. It's a blueprint straight from God of how a successful family should be run. Hey guys, this is Hope Said It back with another Hope Said It uncut video for you. Let's not talk about barefaced Contessa, okay? It's not about me. It's been rough. So just a real recap. If you haven't watched, or if you don't follow me on social media, here's what happened last night. As I was retwisting my hair, that's why my hair is a little fuzzy. I was retwisting my hair and my sister calls, basically telling me her knee popped out of place. And what do I do? So I finished my little 2 twists in the back and I had to go. So drove to her house, took her to the hospital, and we left. I got in bed maybe at 3 or 2:30. I don't even know what time it is. I have to wake up early and do some car stuff. So yeah, it's today. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, then you're never going to have anything done. So that's why I said, you know what? Forget how I look. I'm going to talk about this topic this week because the devil doesn't want you to hear it. No, I'm kidding. I just really want to, even if it's not for long, just talk about submission in general. That was this week's blog post. Go to hopesaidit.com. Every Wednesday I post a new topic about marriage, motherhood, hair, and life. So I wanted to talk today about submission. And I know that's a curse word for a lot of people, especially in this kind of feminist type of world. I'm taking it kind of back old school, but I just want people to know that submission is still a thing that makes marriage work. And the problem is that when you hear the word submission, people put their own connotation into it. And that's the problem. For some people, oh, submission means like enslavement. Oh, you're a Stedford wife. That's not the case. Submission is to just be under someone's authority. And I don't know if you know it, but you're in submission every day of your life. You just don't realize it or think of it in a negative way. We are all under the submission of whatever the president says. We're all under submission of what your local governor says, your, mayor say, your city ordinances. You're under submission to follow the law of the land. You're under submission at work. Your boss is going to tell you something and you do it. But then for someone you chose to marry and love, you're like, I don't gotta listen to that, and it's not even a point of listening. It's a point of there's an order and a function of a home and any organization. There's a CEO and a COO. You don't usually see a COO trying to, override or flex muscle on the CEO because they know their place. The CEO, you give the vision. COO, I'll carry it out. It's a good partnership. It's symbiotic. And I think a lot of the times, instead of a symbiotic relationship, people think of submission as a dictatorship, and that's not what it is. And if that's what it has been in your situation, you didn't pick the right man. So then don't blame the Bible. Don't blame other people. Don't blame society when it's like, no, you picked wrong. You're not going to be under submission to anybody. It's the person who is right, and you just, you know what? My pastor said it best. He said, men need respect and women need love. And that's their language. Men have egos. Everybody has an ego. Men, their ego is big, but very fragile. It's like a big old ball of glass. So with their wives, they want respect and they don't want to compromise that ego that they have. While women, just need to I love you. Like respect is nice, but we need love. We need to feel love. Men don't necessarily need to feel love. They need to be shown respect. So that's that kind of relationship and why it works like that. Wives, submit to your husbands. And what does that mean? I mean, I'll tell you an anecdote. Like, listen, I'm not a weak person. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not weak. And so even in my situation, if anybody knows my husband, he's loud and boisterous and all that other stuff. A heart of gold, but just that's his personality. So what does submission look like? I think it's respecting his vision for our family. And I'll tell you one example that happened. Before we moved, I moved, might be 3 years ago now. Maybe 2, I don't know. But either way, when we moved from our old house to our new one, I did not want to move. I was actually comfortable in our old house. I was like, who cares? I know I had 2 kids at the time, and he was like, hey, if we have another one, we have got to go. And I was thinking, no, we don't have to go because we have an extra room and this and that. Okay, well, now I don't have an office. Now the boys are going to have to move to the front of the house, and I don't want that. So there were a lot of reasons he was trying to move, and I wasn't having it. I'll tell you right now, I was either... I don't know if I was pregnant at the time or about to be pregnant, but either way, I was like, I am not moving. He's just talking. So then one day I'm at work and he just keeps on sending me these house links. And I'm like, would you go away? No, he is so serious about moving. Okay, no, He said, just look at them, just look them over. No, I wasn't going to do it. And so he kept on every day just sending me more links. And then, this is nice. This is nice. Do you like this? What kind of style you like? I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'll play along. I will play along. I looked through the homes, and then I caught myself. Now I'm like, oh, we're in the market. I asked him questions like, oh my gosh, what can we afford? How much? And this and that. We got to be doing the right thing. Like, this house is not a bad house. Why do we have to move? Because we needed more room in his eyes for the kids and this and that. He just saw more than I saw. And that's kind of what our relationship is. He's a visionary and I'm the doer. So, typical CEO, COO relationship. So, fast forward, we finally found a home, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, if it's not this home, I don't want it. And we, went through the negotiations, all that stuff. We were able to get it. But the crazy thing is, when we bought our first home, the housing market was on a down slope. So we got it for a really good price. And we were broke. So we needed to get it for a very good price. And we didn't have furniture in it for a good, like, half a year. It was ridiculous. But we're happy we had a home, but we did not have furniture. So when we moved into this house, we got way over asking. So much so that we were able to use that money, the profit from the old house, to pay all of the down payment for this house. And I was thinking back and I said, you know what? If I were stubborn and I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you say. I don't care about your vision. We'd be stuck. Now, we would be in a bad situation, not necessarily, but we wouldn't be in as good of a situation because now, the housing market is, like, people are getting way over asking now. So it's a horrible time to buy. But for some reason, he just saw in his vision, like, we need to go. We need to hit it now. And here's what we need to do. And that's the very moment where I was like, okay, he might know what he's talking about for some stuff. So it was a way for me to know hope. You don't think like he thinks, and if I know him like I know him, I'm like, he prays, he submits to God. Hello, he submits to somebody as well. So he submits to God. I need to trust that he knows what he's doing because he takes his responsibility as husband and father very seriously. So I was like, you know what? Let me not act like I'm the only one who can hear from God. I need to trust what you hear as well. And that's just what he was led to do. And so after that, I was like, yeah, I need to listen. That's what submission is. It wasn't authoritative. It wasn't anything. It was just like, hey, here's what I think. Be open to it. Be open to it and don't always think that because I did not know at the time. I thought I knew. I was like, no, we have a good thing going on in XYZ, but it worked out for the good. And I'll do another video about this whole entrepreneurship journey that he went on. But yeah, he left his job, corporate job, good job. And he was a full-time entrepreneur, but he wasn't going to do that until I was comfortable. And he was like, okay, well, when do you want me to do it? And so knowing him, I was like, okay, well, I think I gave him like a month or 2 months and, whatever. My old self would have been like, to the end of the year. Okay, I don't know what you're trying to do. But trusting him and being able to say, okay, I will submit to what you are trying to do for this family. 2 months later, and we're in a good situation, So just things like that. I don't want people to think submission is some dirty word. It really is just being like, okay, as a family, because your family is an organization. Let's run it like a business, like let's maximize our profits, let's take care of our workers. Think of it as an organization. You have an organization, you want it to run well. You have a CEO, the husband, a COO, the wife. You have the kids, liabilities and leeches. No, I'm kidding. But either way, you have the kids, people that you want to train up in the company correctly. So you have to have a mission, vision, value, goals, Communication is key. We communicate very often just to talk about, okay, what are we doing? What's next year like? What do you want to do? And we make decisions accordingly based on that. We make decisions. Like he made a lot of, when he was still in the workforce, well, he's an entrepreneur, he's in the workforce, but when he was still in corporate America, he made a lot of decisions for our family, like can't take this job, even though it's, way more money or this much money or whatever. I'm not going to take this job because it was farther away, because it's later times and I need to be with my family, so we prioritize family. I have been in situations where I did not take promotions because I said, no, I need to focus on family. Family is so important, and that's my organization. That's what I care about. Because when I leave my job, they'll hire, and I can work work my fingers to the bone. People have gotten heart attacks because of the job, high blood pressure because of the jobs, and what happens? A get well card. Oh, you know what? Let me retire. I decided to leave. Oh, okay. We feel so bad. And then a week later, they don't remember your name. They fill your job with 2 other people. It keeps going without you. So the people who matter are who I decide to focus on. And so for me and for us, we focus on our family. And I just think it's important to see your family as a healthy organization that you want to see grow. And I feel like if you have that mindset, you're not so individualistic into thinking, I'm not submitting to anybody, forget that. No, it's an organization. So submit to the vision, submit to the person giving the vision, because if you pick the right person, that vision is not coming just out his butt. It's coming from God. So you're submitting in all, at the end of the day to God, I don't know. I think that's not, I feel, not a hard concept, but I don't think it's a popular concept. I listen to Bindi Mark. If you don't follow her, and I don't even have locks, but she's just so intriguing that I'm like, oh, Bindi. She is a loctician. She has been having a lock journey. She documents that very well. But her most recent video was about her stay-at-home, just how it is to be a stay-at-home mom, and especially in the Black community, how people kind of look down on that. When they hear you're not going back to work, it's kind of a sentiment of you being lazy, a sentiment of are you just trying to leech off of your husband, a sentiment of don't trust your husband because you need to have your own. Why do we have that mindset? Don't bring your brokenness and broken ideas into a healthy situation, because at the end of the day, how many of our my mom didn't work for a while when my dad went to work. What's the problem with that? She took care of the home. She took care of us. And then she did go to work when we were in school. But just why are we so pressed to tell women to get out of the house? Take care of your family. That's number one. Always number one to me. Take care of your family. I'll turn down money. I'll do whatever. Take care of family, because I have seen firsthand many times of how people chased a career instead of focused on their family, and then their kids either grow up and they're crazy or they don't revere the parent. It's not a close relationship. It's, I don't know. For me, I feel like my memories, my quality time, that's what my kids will value and cherish. Because even now, I don't give my kids everything. They don't have money. Okay, they're broke. So everything I give them is my money. Are they going to get a car at 16? I hope they go half on it, and if I give it to them, it's because they're like straight A students, and please don't think it's going to be a new one. It's going to be like my old one because I want a new one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just different, but I want our kids to be better than us. But do not think that being better means not instilling those same values, because you got instilled, hopefully, you got instilled the value of grit, determination, honesty, family. Don't leave those just because your success now turns into money. Because success for me, it's not money. I've seen many people who make money and they're miserable. So yes, get enough to obviously take care of your family, but focus on family. And I think that's literally the heart of submission. Submission is giving us a function of how to run family and how to run it well. It was just a blueprint of husbands. Do this, submit to God, Wives, do this, submit to your husband. And then husbands, what? Love your wife. It's just a blueprint of, hey, here's how I'm running my company. And I promise you, your marriage, your house will be successful if you run it like that. Children, obey your parents. So you have all those things going on, all those instructions going on, just to say, hey, here's a healthy household. Take what you will from it. It's not oppressive. It's not anything to run from. It's not something to burn your bra about. It's a blueprint straight from God of how a successful family should be run. Sorry, I had to delete some apps off my phone because storage is running out. It's just that kind of day. And even after this, I got to run. We're not done with the day at all. So I just wanted to give that tidbit, like just making sure we focus back on the family, because I think that we've been lied to as Black women specifically of, hey, you got to get on the grind. You have to. Like I said, we're probably the most educated demographic there is. Everybody's chasing a PhD, and that's great. But we kind of get on this escalator of success, and we're just like, all right, up and up and up and up. And we're kind of in that race, and we're not thinking, okay, when are we going to jump off? When are we going to start caring about family? Because it's hard. Once you reach a certain point, you're like, well, sky's the limit. I'm going to keep going. And if you lose sight of what your core is, if you lose sight of those relationships of family, it's hard to jump off that escalator, especially the higher you go, the harder it is to jump off. So that's what I had to recently make a decision to say, you know what? This is where I stop. At least in this track that I'm on, I'm good. I'm happy. I don't need to take any more time away from family. I need to focus on my kids, especially. I mean, they're 2, 4, and 7. They're young. They're formative. They're clingy. I need to focus on, my husband, supporting him, doing what I need to do there. They're just different things, with all kinds of family stuff, just focusing on that. And I just want my message today to be, yes, submission. It's not a dirty thing. It's something that helps the family run efficiently. And I promise you, if you've seen a good example of submission, I've seen it because my parents were amazing. Before my dad passed away, they were married for 40 years or something like that, 40 plus, something like that. I don't know. But they were at the hip since their 20s. I just saw that relationship. It wasn't a dictatorship. My dad absolutely didn't clue my mom on a lot of things, but she respected him. He loved her. We respected our parents as much as possible. Yes, we were still kids. I mean, what we gonna do? But we obeyed as much as we could. It is just a blueprint. Like, if you just think of it as a manual to a successful family, that's all it is. And so when you see people try to say, no, but forget that, I'm going to do this. You can do whatever you want to, but don't expect certain outcomes if you're not following the plan designed for a successful household. And I'm not talking about roles necessarily. I'm not saying, so the woman cooks and this and that. No, because I know many of successful households where the man likes cooking. That's not my household. But it's not about the chores necessarily. It's the role and the respect and the demeanor that comes with it. I don't know. That could be a whole separate video in and of itself. And I said I didn't want this one to be long, but I just want you to know that submission is not a dirty word, especially these, teens or early 20s people, even 30s, people who are looking to marry. It's not a dirty word. And don't listen to people who are like, oh no, I don't do this. And who cares about this? Okay, well then why are you getting married? Stay with yourself. Stay with yourself and just date for the rest of your life. But if you're in a marriage, there's a way for it to work. And don't bring your little machismo. I'm tough, yes. But at the end of the day, I'm not fighting my husband for some, alpha role. That's ridiculous. I don't know. That's just how I think. I'm not going to have a chaotic household where two people are trying to, compete for number one. Why? We're all in it for the same reasons. I trust his vision because he's submitting to God. I submit to him. I am also in communication with God. It's so, I don't know. I just feel like submission has a bad rap. I don't know. I just saw it firsthand, and it's a beautiful thing when it's done right. It's not oppressive. It wasn't mean. My dad was, listen, the hashtag my dad better than yours, absolutely he was. And it worked out. He was the kindest man. Now he could get mad, but he was kind-hearted. He loved his wife wholeheartedly. And I saw how that was and saw how it brought us up. We didn't turn out so shabby, if I don't say so myself. So that's that. I just wanted to support that. I just wanted to let people know that family is important. And if you have a family, nurture that family. And there's a blueprint in the Bible for how that can be nurtured and how you can build a successful family. And just like any business, there are functions and roles, and everybody plays their part for the greater. Is one better than the other and all that? No, but to function properly, everybody knows what their part is. So just keep that in mind as we're all in this crazy thing called life. I think I'm done talking about marriage for a while because this is Hope Said It on marriage, motherhood, hair, and life. So I'm good on marriage just for a couple weeks. So I'll either talk about motherhood or hair. Now I need to update y'all on my hair, so I'm gonna talk about hair next week probably because these little twists, y'all. We'll see what's going on. I think I'm good lengthwise. I'm probably back to kind of where I was. We got to thicken it up though. Like I said, my hair broke off kind of from the top. I don't know. My hair, I just have to see it. But, I think it just kind of broke off. So the top is a little thicker and then it's a little more stringier at the bottom. I don't know. But, okay, can't even go behind my hair. The length I feel is, if it's not back, I'll be back in December, no problem. But the thickness and the health of it and the luxuriousness of it, I need that back. And I didn't even start drinking fenugreek yet. I promise you I'm going to start by October. So I'm going to at least see October, November, December. By the new year, I'll update you on the 3 months of fenugreek and if it even made a difference in my hair. But that's all, guys. Thank you so much. Check out my blog post, hopesaidit.com, marriage, motherhood, hair, and life. This is what I do. Follow me on social media at Hope Said It, and I will see you later. Just comment below. If you hated everything I said, I guess you don't need to comment. But those are usually the people who comment first anyway. So is life. Bye. It's a beautiful day outside.